welcome to Hecate's Crossing. Welcome if this is the first time you've come across Hecate's Crossing. Now, my name's Paula, for those that don't know, and Hecate is the goddess that I work with on my personal journey, hence the name Hecate's Crossing. Okay, so we're working with the new Mythic Tarot. Okay, the new Mythic Tarot. Now, we've worked through the major arcana and we've looked through the cups, the wands, the swords, and of course now we're up to the pentacles. Now, these are just brief introductions to the minor arcana. or into each suit. I haven't gone into a huge amount of detail about each card, but just to sort of give you a little bit of a brief hypnosis, if you like, by just reading a little bit about the description of the card, of what the card looks like, and then if we go into a card pull, then I'll go into a little bit more detail about that card, but I'm not going into details about every card. That's something that you can do yourself if you're exploring this deck for you. I think that's very important for you if you're going into a tarot deck, that you do the research, you do the meanings or the intuitive meanings for yourself. You go in and do your research. I'm just going into a little bit of an introduction so you can sort of understand a little bit about this deck overall. Okay, so we're up to the Pentacles. So the numbered cards of the Pentacles. The story of Daedalus, the Athenian craftsman who built the labyrinth for King Minos of Crete, is a subtle tale, and its hero is painted in many hues, for he is neither a wholly good man nor a villain, but a curious mixture of both. This story, with its ingenious and immoral protagonist, befits the suit of Pentacles, for it illustrates the problems, challenges, aspirations, pitfalls, and completes morality of earthly endeavour with its failures and rewards. Daedalus was descended from the royal house of Athens and was a wonderful smith, having been instructed by the goddess Athena herself. He spent his early years perfecting his skills, and it was said that he invented the saw and the axe, as well as being the first man to fix arms and legs to the shapeless primitive statues of the gods. Still in his prime, he became renowned for his ingenuity and cunning. This early success, however, was doomed by the craftsman's own flawed character. Daedalus had a nephew called Talos, and this Talos, although only 12-year-old, began to surpass his gifted uncle in the art of creating tools and beautiful objects. Talos invented the potter's wheel and the compass while still a child. Daedalus grew unbearably jealous and was torn by conflict, for while he loved and admired his nephew, he was an ambitious man and could not tolerate his own reputation being threatened in such a way. So he murdered Talos by throwing the boy from the roof of Athens' temple. Caught in the act of trying to hide the body, Daedalus was condemned, but managed to flee Athens before any punishment could be visited upon him. The smith landed in Crete and sought and received the protection of King Minos. For some time he lived in high favour at Knossos, Minos' capital, creating architectural beauties for the king and amusing the palace children with ingenious toys. But then a bad fate befell King Minos, which we have already glimpsed in the story behind the major arcana card of the tower. For Minos offended the god Poseidon by refusing to sacrifice a white bull on the god's altar, and Poseidon retaliated by afflicting Minos' wife, Pasiphae, with a violent passion for the bull. Pasiphae, driven by his shameful compulsion, appealed to Daedalus and begged him to contrive a way in which she might meet and couple with the bull in secret. Thus Daedalus was caught once again in a conflict, for Minos was his protector and patron. Yet it was clear that the hand of God lay on Pasiphae. Daedalus chose the god and constructed a wooden cow in which Pasiphae crouched and mated with the bull. When the hideous minotaur with the bull's head and a man's body was born from this union, King Minos, ignorant of the part which Daedalus had played in its conception, begged the smith to build a hiding place in which the monster could be concealed. Daedalus agreeably served his master once more and constructed the tortuous corridors of the labyrinth, in which once a man entered he was irretrievably lost. But when the hero Theseus arrived in Crete to slay the Minotaur, and Minos's daughter Ariadne fell in love with him, it was Daedalus that she turned to find a way for Theseus to enter the labyrinth and trace his steps safely out again. Daedalus once again betrayed his master and made for Ariadne a bull of golden thread, one end of which she held while the young hero entered the dark corridors. Holding the other, slew the Minotaur and followed the golden thread out into the sunlight again. This time Minos discovered the treachery of his craftsman and locked Daedalus in the labyrinth, but the smith ingeniously made a pair of wings from beeswax and wood and feathers that the sympathetic Pasiphae brought him, and flew from one of the towers, borne by the wind, towards safe shores. Eventually he landed in Cumae, on the coast of Italy, and from there made his way to Sicily, where he gained the favour of King Cocalus. King Minos pursued him and tracked him all over Greece and Italy. The king carried with him a Triton shell, and wherever he went he promised to reward richly anyone who could pass a linen thread through it, a feat which he knew Daedalus alone could perform. In this way he found the smith's hiding place, but King Cocalus refused to part with his valued guest. Cocalus ordered his daughters to pour boiling water into Minos's bath, and Daedalus then lived into contented and wealthy old age. So we begin with the Ace of Pentacles as we explore each card. The card of the Ace of Pentacles portrays a swarthy and powerful built figure with long curling brown hair and a fish tail rising out of the depths of the sea, and bearing aloft a single golden pentacle. Around him lie crags draped in vines, richly hung with ripening grapes, while in the distance can be seen a landscape of the fertile green hills opening out onto a bay. So this is the god Poseidon, whom we encountered earlier in the Major Arcana card of the Tower. Okay, so let's have a look at the Two of Pentacles. So the card of the Two of Pentacles portrays Daedalus, a swarthy brown-haired man in his workshop. He's wearing an ochre-coloured tunic and a brown leather apron. Before him stands his workbench, supported by two golden pentacles. On either side of him, on a wooden trellis, cluster vines heavy with grapes, and in the background can be seen a landscape of rich green hills. In his left hand, Daedalus holds an axe, which he has just invented. In his right hand, he holds a saw, also his invention. Before him on the table are spread the tools of his trade. To me, it's very similar, like the magician in many ways, except for the two pentacles there. Okay, so let's have a look here. Three of Pentacles. The card of the Three of Pentacles portrays Daedalus standing on a raised platform or dais, still clothed in his ochre tunic and leather apron. Three Athenians stand before him dressed in subtle but rich robes. Each offers him a golden pentacle. Around the four men, vines hung laden on a trellis and a background of green hills can be seen against a clear blue sky. Okay, so let's look at the Four of Pentacles, so we can tell this is the story of Daedalus. The card of the Four of Pentacles portrays Daedalus clutching four golden pentacles tightly in his arms. He stares angrily at a boy who is busy at the workbench. Now, this is his nephew Tapos, clothed in a pale green tunic, brown-haired, dark-complexioned, concentrating on a beautiful golden ornament that he's in the process of completing. Around both the artisan and his nephew, richly laden vines twine up a trellis, and green hills can be seen in the distance against a clear sky. Okay, so let's have a look at the Five of Pentacles. So with the Five of Pentacles, we've got the card of the Five of Pentacles portrays Daedalus shrouded in a tattered brown cloak, creeping away by night from the city where only a short time before he had achieved such acclaim. On a hill behind him stands his workshop, its trellis adorned with vines, displaying 5 golden pentacles, the success that Daedalus must now leave behind him. The road on which he travels leads towards a barren landscape of brown hills and a black sky. A thin, waning moon can be seen. So 6 of Pentacles is next. So with the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so the card of the 6 of Pentacles portrays Daedalus on his knees in homage, hands clasped in the gesture of supplication. So he's down. Okay, so seated before him on a golden throne is King Minos of Crete, a mature man with black hair and a beard and a swarthy complexion, robed in regal purple and wearing a golden crown. In his hands the king holds 6 golden pentacles, offering them to Daedalus in a promise of future patronage. Behind the kneeling craftsman and the enthroned king can be seen the walls of Minos's palace, decorated and painted friezes of ball dancers. Okay, so next we've got the 7. The card of the 7 of Pentacles portrays Daedalus in the palace of King Minos. To his right, mounted on a painted column, upon which his hand rests possessively, are 6 golden pentacles. To his left stands Queen Pasiphae, Minos's wife, clothed in purple robes and wearing a golden crown on her long brown hair. She wears an expression of anguish and desperation on her face and offers the craftsman a single golden pentacle. Beside her can be seen a white bull. Okay, number 8. 8 of Pentacles. The card of 8 of Pentacles portrays Daedalus at his workshop in the precincts of King Coculus' palace in Sicily. On either side of him, richly laden vines clamber up wooden posts. Behind him can be seen a verdant vista of green mountains, leading to the sea. On the ground at the craftsman's feet lies 7 golden pentacles, all in an unfinished state, and awaiting future work. On the wooden table before him lies a single golden pentacle, around which Daedalus engraves an elaborate border. Okay, we're up to the 9 of Pentacles. So again with Daedalus, standing with his hands folded in a posture of satisfaction, a self-congratulatory smile on his face. He has discarded his tunic and leather apron, and is now clothed in a rich ochre-coloured gown trimmed with gold. On his head rests a laurel wreath. On either sides of him, richly laden vines climb up a wooden trellis, while in the distance can be seen green mountains and a calm blue sea. Beside the craftsman, piled on the ground, are 9 golden pentacles. Okay. With the 10 of Pentacles, the card of the 10 of Pentacles portrays Daedalus as an old man, his brown hair now liberally streaked with grey. He is comfortably seated with his children and grandchildren around him. The patriarch and founder of a line. On either side of him, mounted on vine-draped columns, hang 10 golden pentacles, 5 to his left and 5 to his right. In his lap nestles an infant playing with a golden rattle. To his left stands a woman of around 30, clothed in green and wearing a beautiful golden necklace. At his feet, a boy of 10 plays with a toy golden horse. In the distance can be seen a landscape of rich green mountains and calm blue sea. Okay, So next we've got the Page of Pentacles. Okay, the card of the Page of Pentacles portrays a boy of around 12 years of age with dark brown hair and an olive complexion, dressed in a pale leaf green tunic. He stands in a field where the new green growth of different varieties of vegetables, flowers and herbs is just showing above the ploughed furrows of rich dark soil. He holds a golden pentacle gently with both hands. Above him the sky is pale, delicate blue. Okay, so he is the mythic figure of the boy Triptolemus, who was the son of King Celis of Eleusis. And you can read a little bit more about that if you wish to. Okay, so next we've got the Knight of Pentacles. The card of the Knight of Pentacles portrays a swarthy young man with dark brown hair mounted on a stocky brown horse. He is dressed in a lime green tunic and brown leather armor and wears a brown leather helmet. In his right hand he holds a golden pentacle. In his left a stalk of wheat. Around him lies rolling pastures dotted with sheep and an olive grove with beehives. Above him is a brilliant blue sky. So here we've got the mythic figure of Aristosus, Aristaeus, who's called guardian of the flocks. He's the son of the sun god Apollo by the mortal woman called Kyrene. And when he was an infant, he was given to the Earth Mother, who fed him on nectar and ambrosia. Okay, that's interesting, and you can find out a lot more about that if you wish to. Right, so now we're up to the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, the card of the Queen of Pentacles portrays a beautiful woman with rich dark brown hair and brown eyes, wearing a sensually draped russet robe and a golden crown. She is seated on a golden throne, which has arms engraved with the heads of bulls. In her right hand she holds a golden pentacle, in her left a bunch of purple grapes. Around her lie ripe green and gold pastures, in which a herd of cattle can be seen grazing. And this is the mythic figure of Queen Omphale, whose name means navel. Omphale appears in the cycle of stories concerning the heroes Hercules, who was a low point in his career, was taken to Asia and offered for sale as a nameless slave. He was brought by Omphale, Queen of Lydia, a woman with a good eye for a bargain. He served her faithfully for 3 years, ridding Asia Minor of the bandits who infested the countryside. So you can read about Omphale, Omphale, okay, the Queen of Pentacles. So the last card we're looking at here is the King of Pentacles. The card of the King of Pentacles portrays a swarthy man with dark brown hair and beard, solidly built and obviously contented with his powerful worldly position. He is seated on a golden throne which has arms adorned with the heads of goats. Behind him rises a fortified castle built of stone and draped with vines. Among the columns of the castle his menials and attendants stand ready to serve him. In his hands he holds one golden pentacle, while beneath his feet lies a heap of golden coins. Tiny pentacles, his accumulation of worldly wealth. He is richly but tastefully robed in gold brocade, and wears a golden crown on the grass beside him. A brown goat grazes. And on the King of Pentacles we find the pleasure-loving King of Macedonia, King Midas. Okay, which you, of course, can read a lot more about if you wish to. Okay, so that's it from the new Mythic Tarot. So this is the tarot cards of each of the major arcana and then the suits as a whole. So let's have a look at which of the pentacles are we going to reflect on today. So let's have a look. Let's choose one of the pentacles for reflection. Okay, we're actually going to reflect on the Queen of Pentacles. So let's have a look at the Queen of Pentacles on a divinatory level. When the Queen of Pentacles appears, it is time for the individual to learn about the full expression of his or her sensuality, the value of the body, and the importance of those pleasures that preserve and enrich life. The individual may also be called upon to learn to sustain and preserve material resources, holding conditions stable and secure, and husbanding money and energy. The Queen of Pentacles may enter one's life as a strong, sensual woman, self-sufficient and hard-working, yet generous and willing to indulge herself and others if it suits her purpose. But if such a woman enters one's life, it suggests that these qualities are trying to emerge from within oneself. For me, the Queen of Pentacles is someone who is organized. She's practical. She is kind. She does have a caring nature to her when it suits the needs of the bigger picture. She's someone who's able to see what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. For me, I think she's someone who's very grounded. That's why I said she's very firm. I think she's quite assertive in the way that she approaches the situation. She's not shy to be able to do what's necessary, take action in what's necessary in many ways. So that for me is the Queen of Pentacles. She's someone who's able to nurture well-being. She speaks very clearly about what needs to be done when you're taking care of your health. For me, she's someone who's quite health orientated, but she's also financially aware of what needs to be done. So that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and blessed be.